In this tug-of-war between the spiritual and the material, Neale felt that he was gradually losing his faith. The beautiful dreams he once pursued seemed to fade under the pressure of life. So, in the quiet of the night, in moments of solitude, he began to ponder, what is the meaning of life? Why had he fallen into such chaos? His inner doubts surfaced repeatedly. On one particularly weary night, Neale felt an overwhelming sadness and despair well up in his heart. He gazed at the night sky, seeking some form of comfort. He didn't know if there was any force that could answer his questions. But at that moment, he felt an invisible presence guiding him, and so he began a conversation with God. Life is so terrifying, so chaotic, Neale questioned. I wish things could be clearer. To his surprise, he heard a calm and warm voice, as if it came from deep within him, carrying infinite wisdom and compassion. It was the voice of God, who gently replied, if you do not pursue outcomes, life is not so frightening. Neale furrowed his brow, confused. Do you mean if I don't want anything, life will be easier? God responded, yes. Choose your path, but do not become overly attached to the results. Neale was even more perplexed. After a moment of reflection, he asked, that might sound easy for those without family obligations. But what if you have a wife and children to care for? What then? God's voice remained peaceful. The path of a householder is indeed a challenging one, perhaps the most challenging of all. When you are only concerned with yourself, it is easy to need nothing. But when you have a family, when you have those you love, it is natural to want to provide them with the best life possible. Neale nodded. He deeply understood this feeling, as his family's happiness and security had always been his greatest concern. When I cannot give them what they need, that feeling of powerlessness breaks my heart, he said. A beautiful home, decent clothes, enough food, these are the things I hope to provide for them. God's voice spoke again, filled with infinite wisdom. Neale, you have made these material needs the goal of your life, but is that truly the ultimate purpose of your existence? Neale fell silent for a moment. He wasn't sure how to answer this question, for these were not the things he had always dreamed of. Slowly he said, I don't know if I should say this. It's not the ultimate goal of my life, but if life could provide material security, at least I'd feel better. God smiled and responded, that is natural. Everyone has material needs. They are a necessary part of your physical existence. However, what truly matters is how you view these needs and how you define your life. Neale sank into deeper thought. He recalled his younger years when he had a different understanding of life. Back then, he had hoped to become a messenger of compassion, wisdom, and love, to help those in need and spread the power of love. However, the trivialities and pressures of life seemed to have led him astray. He asked, I once hoped that my life would center around the development of my soul, that I would become a person of compassion, patience, and giving. But now, my life has turned into a day-to-day struggle for survival. God, hearing this, gently replied, you believe that your material needs hinder your soul's development, but in fact, they do not conflict. Every challenge in life is an opportunity for your soul's growth. Whether it's the responsibilities of family or the daily struggles, they are all part of your soul's journey. Neale sighed softly, feeling a deep sense of helplessness. He said, I want to succeed, to have enough wealth so I no longer have to worry about rent next month or my children's expenses. I know this sounds worldly, but it's the reality we must face. God responded calmly, success is defined by you, Neale. If you see success solely as the accumulation of material wealth, you will never be satisfied. True success lies in how you experience life and how you connect with others in the world. Wealth can bring you security, but it is not the purpose of the soul. Neale fell into even deeper reflection. He thought about the last 20 years, during which he had been chasing material success while neglecting the needs of his soul. He realized that he had been trying to prove his worth through external achievements, yet he had overlooked his inner growth. So, the success you speak of is spiritual growth? Neale asked. God answered, true success is the awakening of the soul, when you can experience inner peace and joy in every moment of life, when you can establish sincere connections with the world and with others, and when you feel the power of love, you have achieved true success. Neale suddenly felt a sense of clarity. He realized that he had been searching for happiness and security in the wrong places. He had believed that material abundance would bring him inner peace, but in reality, true peace would only come when he accepted the strength within himself and found a connection with his soul. God's voice continued, "You think you are far from material success, that you are only one step away from ruin. But from my perspective, you are only one step away from true success. You are not on the brink of poverty, but on the threshold of your soul's awakening." Neale felt a warm power fill his heart. He began to understand that God's perspective was entirely different from his own. God was not judging him but guiding him toward the true meaning of life. Then how should I face these daily challenges? Neale asked. Losing my job, rent, family expenses, these real-world problems make it hard for me to focus on my soul's growth. God responded gently, "When you are connected to me, all challenges become opportunities for your soul's growth. You will no longer see these problems as pain and burden, but as gifts for your soul. When you lose your job, new opportunities will appear in your life. When you face financial pressure, you will discover that your inner strength is far greater than you imagined." Neale's mood gradually shifted from anxiety to peace, but he still had doubts. He asked, "How can I not worry about my family's material needs? I cannot ignore their needs." God's voice was filled with love. Of course, providing material support for your family is important, but you must understand that every soul has its own path. You cannot walk the path for them. You can guide them and help them, but you cannot choose their fate for them. The greatest love is to let them be free and to help them learn how to live independently without you. Neale nodded, slowly understanding God's meaning. A parent's responsibility is not just to provide material security for their children but to teach them how to survive independently in the world and how to find the strength of their soul. God continued, "Just as I do for you, I do not force you to do anything. I give you the freedom to choose your own path. My love is not control but guidance." Neale's inner transformation began to take root. He realized that every challenge in life was an opportunity for his soul's growth. He no longer feared losing his job or worried about financial difficulties because he understood that these were temporary, part of his soul's awakening. God's voice was gentle yet firm. "Neale, everything in life is your choice. You can choose suffering, or you can choose growth. Every hardship is a stepping stone for your soul's elevation. When you begin to see life this way, you will find that all difficulties become blessings." Neale felt an unprecedented strength rise within him. He no longer felt powerless and depressed. Instead, he began to feel inner peace and joy. He had come to understand God's teachings. True success is not in external wealth and material gain but in the awakening of the soul and the growth of the inner self. Neale's conversation with God had ended, but he knew that this dialogue would change his life forever. He no longer feared the future, nor was he anxious about life's many problems. Instead, he felt a profound sense of inner peace. From that moment on, Neale no longer viewed life as a hard-fought battle but as a journey of the soul. Every challenge was an opportunity for soul awakening. Every failure was a gift of life. He knew that no matter how difficult the road ahead, he would find growth and upliftment for his soul. Whether you are searching for answers to life's questions or going through life's challenges, this story will bring you inspiration and enlightenment. May you find inner peace and strength for growth as you watch. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more conversations about the soul and life.